Sorry that I've been kind of MIA recently. I'm sure no one's missed me. Like, really, no one has missed me. I don't think, like, I filmed recently. I think my last video was maybe about September. I did try and actually record, I think it was a previous time I'd cleared off my shelf, recorded it, and for some reason I only got the first, like, say, handful of books. I didn't get a full shelf, so I don't know what happened. All the files seem to be corrupted. I don't know if it was because I was constantly switching between batteries because I hadn't charged my batteries recently, so I was charging them for like a few minutes to try and get it filmed, so I don't know what happened. And I also apologise for the odd angle you are sitting at. I currently have stuff down here in front of my bookcase. I have stuff to my left hand side, boxes and stuff still left over from Christmas that need to go up in the loft, and just a whole pile of crap. Basically my room is a nightmare. But enough about that. I've just been, I wouldn't say unmotivated, but there's just been other stuff going on, like work, and we had our first broken bone in the family. Not me, I'm fine. My dad broke his shoulder for the first broken bone in the family. Like, go big or go home, right? But he is recovering well. He was off work for 6 weeks. He is now back, so that was a couple of weeks before Christmas. And I don't really like filming when other people are around. I get nervous, which is probably why I haven't been like out and done any of the, like, the Harry Potter walking tour I did. Whenever that was a bit nerve-wracking for me, I would have to say. But anyway, I'm back. Hopefully this video will record fine. Hopefully I'm not going to have any issues. And this is this month's currently reading list. I'm not sure if it will be February reading list or a March reading list yet. It might be March by the time I get it edited and uploaded. And I've got quite a few ideas for stuff that I need to do at the moment, but we'll see. Like, hopefully I can get my whatever it is back. But let's get into the video. There's quite a lot of novelisations coming up in this video, so it'll be a part novelisations update of what I've purchased recently as well, or what I've got coming up. There's a few onto the next shelf as well, which should be interesting. But let's get on with it. Enough rabbiting from me. Let's see the first book. I'm sorry if the camera moves at any point. I'm literally having to manoeuvre my way past the boxes in front of the camera to get to the books. So if it moves and I don't notice, I apologise. But first of all, we have One by Sarah Crossan. And I like the cover art on this one. Don't know, I like the one girl with an eye closed and the other girl with an eye open. And then you've got a quote from Celia Ahern on the front. One broke my heart and mended it. So this sounds quite interesting. Obviously every couple of years you do see something about conjoined twins in the news. Normally like babies. So it's always a scary thing to read about. I think it's going to be quite a sad book. It also reminds me of that book. Oh, my mind has just gone blank. What's it called? The Girls by Laurie Lansons. I actually looked up and it's on my bookshelf up there. I've read that and that was really heartbreaking as well. So it sounds kind of similar to that, with the twins being older. A lot of the time you hear about just born twins or a few months old twins, something like that. So I think that one will be quite upsetting. I'm looking forward to reading that. I think I watched the other night, I watched Gemini Man. So I have the novelisation of that. I bought that and it arrived yesterday. So I'm probably going to read that while it's still fresh in my head, sort of thing, before I start on this shelf. But I will let you know how that is as well. Oh, Jesus Christ. So next up we have Titanic Legacy of Betrayal. I really like this cover art again. I like the sort of older woman hand, the younger woman is the author's names. Looks like a self-published book. It's quite a large format. Yeah, it's self-published. Sounds quite interesting. I like the fact it has a Jeff Dawson in it rather than a Jack Dawson. Then we've got the two authors here. It'll be quite interesting to see if I notice anything, like any differences between whatever parts they're telling. I don't know if they're going to do it, like one of them is going to do it from the older Olive Stanford, or if one's going to do it from the future Ember. I don't know, but we'll see. It sounds interesting. It's not a very thick book, as you can see there. I have another I think I've got 3 Titanic books in a row here, and there's another couple coming up on this shelf as well. But I have Tomorrow Belongs to Us by Lynda Dunwell. Not a very inspired cover, I have to say, for this one, if we're thinking about it. It's kind of standard. Again, it's not a relatively long book, and it is self-published, and the blurb on the back is really weird. I don't know if it's because it's self-published that it looks like this. So it's kind of odd when you look at it from far away and that's a blurb. It's not like blurbs you see a lot of the time. But that is the author. Again, it's not very long. It says it's a romance novel on RMS Titanic. And another Titanic book is Ghosts of the Titanic by Katie Toome, which says it's an adventure novel. Quite a spooky cover, I think, myself. It looks quite... I don't know if that's supposed to be kind of ghostly shapes on it. I think it's quite interesting that a couple of these books are going back and forth in time now, rather than just simply concentrating on the Titanic and the events. They're kind of fast forwards into the future as well, or the present I should say, really. I'm not sure about this one. I don't know, the ones that always like, oh, there's treasure on the Titanic and we have to get it, or when they put like kind of vampires or werewolves on the Titanic. I'm never really sure about those ones. I think I've still got one on my wish list at the moment, a Titanic book, which is vampires. There is one I've previously read, worked with the vampires, but I'm not sure. I'm glad that people are trying to put a new spin on books, because there's only, let's face it, the one with 100 odd books of Titanic here, there's only so many stories you can tell about the Titanic. And I'm glad that people are putting a different spin on it, but I'm not sure kind of mythical creatures are really working. I don't know if that's the right road to go down. In my personal opinion, obviously, if that's what floats your boat, then good, but it's just not my personal preference, I have to say. And to take a break from all the Titanic books, we have The Best of Daughters by Dilly Court. These books are 10 a penny. I tend to pick them up from charity shops. One of my mum's friends gives me them. I think that's where this one's come from, because it's pretty creased. I mean, they're not really much you can say about them. I tend to keep all my Lynn Andrews books because they're similar sort of kind of genre. I keep some of the Katie Flynn books, but the rest of these, unless they really stick out to me, I tend to just pop them back down to the charity shop once I've read them. They're alright for like taking a break, say from something else you're reading, or if you've read a particularly, say for example, like either lengthy book or a particularly hard going book, then yeah, pick up one of these. They're forgettable really, which is what I find. Like, maybe not so much like the earlier Lynn Andrews books, but some of her later ones, you kind of can predict the storyline, which is, I don't want to say unfortunate, but they're just easy going. Can't really say much more than that. I read these sort of books every so often. I'd like to believe, but I've never actually had anything happen to me. So this is Angel at My Shoulder by Glennyce S. Eckersley, and it's true stories of angelic experiences. Again, I don't think this would be a keeper. I like these sort of stories, and I like reading about them, and I think, yes, there are angels, yes, there are the things out there. I don't know, I'm just on the fence, shall we say. I don't know one way or the other what's true and what's not. But again, it would be quite a heartwarming little book to read. I mean, it's not long or anything. I think I've either got it used or I've got it in the charity shop. It's not an author I've heard of. Maybe there'll be a few that I'm getting rid of on this shelf, which would be a good thing. I have been pretty good recently, actually. I've been getting rid of quite a few books. Like, a lot of them, if I've been reading them at work, say for example, they're going in the green room there, and other ones I've just been putting in a pile for the charity shop for the next time I'm down. So I've got a decent amount to put down for them. But I'm starting to be quite ruthless, which I need to be. I've got Look at Me by Jennifer Egan. Now this is a fair tome of a book. Looking at it, I don't remember why I got this. I don't recognise the cover. Oh yes, I kind of remember it now. I'm not sure how this one will be, just because of the length. I'm kind of concerned that it's going to be seriously overwritten for that kind of story. 517 pages. Does it need to be that length? I mean, hopefully it'll be good and it'll be quite intriguing, and it'll kind of put forward stuff about how we feel when we look in the mirror. It raises tantalising questions about identity and reality in contemporary Western culture. I'm not sure about this one. I like the cover art, obviously. It looks like a car crash and a girl standing in front with her shadow. Not sure if it needs to be 517 pages long. There's a lot of random books on this shelf that I don't remember buying. So I've got Giving Up the Ghost, another intriguing cover. There's the author. I'm not going to attempt that one. And it's a story about friendship, 80s rock, a lost scrap of paper, and what it means to be haunted. This sounds either seriously creepy or it could go seriously wrong. I'm not sure how, again, I feel about this one. It depends how well it's written. If you read it, be warned, it may haunt you as well. Well, already the blurb is haunting me, so what do we think? If you've read any of these, please do comment, let me know what you think of them. I'm always, interested in hearing what other people think. If we disagree on anything, see if we agree on anything. And obviously my ratings are all down below. Don't remember this one either. So I've got The House of Eliott by Jeanne Marsh, from the co-creator of Upstairs Downstairs. Is that a TV show or? Not a clue. Based on the massively successful television series. Still haven't heard of it. I don't remember why I bought this. Obviously there was something that appealed at the time about this. I don't know now. When you buy something at the time and then you look back on it, you're like, why did I buy this? I'm having this at the moment. I don't actually remember buying this. I mean, it looks in quite good nick, so I don't think it's come from a charity shop. That may be where it's heading, though. We'll see. I have another couple of Titanic books coming up. This next one is from a library. So this is Ghosts of the Titanic, and this is by Julie Lawson. And it says here it's children's fiction, but look at that creepy pair of eyes there. I didn't actually notice that at the time when I had it far back here. That is a creepy pair of eyes. Maybe that's the ghost from that Giving Up the Ghost book. So this is from the Hennepin County Library, and it was officially withdrawn. Well, this sounds quite intriguing. Obviously Mackay Bennett picked up quite a few bodies at the time. This looks like it happens obviously after the sinking of the Titanic. There isn't a library ticket in here or anything like that. You know, I like looking for the library tickets and what year they came out. It's not a very long book. It's 169 pages if you include the author's note and acknowledgements as well. Sorry, completely forgot what my train of thought there. But hopefully it's quite good. It was one I'd been after for a little while, and I got in hardback. It was just really waiting for it to come down in price, or come down to a reasonable price where I was happy to pay that. So I have A Wistful Eye, The Tragedy of a Titanic Shipwright by DJ Kelly. Okay, his eyebrow already annoys me. I don't know what it is about men of a certain age, but their eyebrows are never groomed. Groom your eyebrows. I mean, I know I don't have the best eyebrows in the world, but at least I keep them tidy. Normally behind my fringe anyway. I'm not sure how this one will be. Sometimes these kind of biography ones aren't the best. Text is quite dense as well, if you can see that. And it's not a very long book. It is self-published as well. It's well, let's look at this, right? 164 pages. Why is this page numbered when it's completely blank? Why is this page numbered when it's completely blank? I'm just not sure how that one will be. Next up we have Passage of Tears by what I think is Jeanne Blake. I'm not 100% sure on the pronunciation of that name, but it's right there. It's just because it's got the little, I can never remember what you call those, but it's got the little accent above the E. But yeah, another Titanic book. Quite a creepy cover. That cover actually reminds me of the cover of The Devil's Arithmetic. That's instantly what that image triggers. The person going through the door with the light. There isn't a blurb on the back cover, and there's a lot of blank pages at the back, but it's 267 pages, and you've got a couple of black and white images at the back of the book here. Just discovered something really interesting, but we'll go on to that in a second. Not sure how this one will be, but in case you haven't already guessed, when I said I've found something exciting there, I do have a signed copy. To Dear Jeanne and Emma, best wishes. Obviously Jeanne and Emma didn't like that book then. But I always find, like, when they're signed copies, why give them away? Unless it was a case like it was a house clearing or something like that after someone had died. I would never give like signed copies away intentionally, especially when they're to me. And I think this book did shoot up in price at one point, and then it came back down, so I thought, well, I better grab it while I can. I still don't think it was like a reasonable price, but it wasn't extortionate high or anything like that. The next one I have is The Secrets We Keep by Trisha Lever. Again, another interesting cover. The two girls there, and it's twin sisters, a fatal accident, a devastating lie, which girl survived? Now, that sounds creepy. That sounds really intriguing. Not sure how it'll be. I kind of like this detailing on the cover. I kept thinking it was scratches to begin with, but it looks kind of like rain. If you can see, it looks kind of like pouring rain, I suppose. So it's quite a nice effect. And it shows up mostly on the black of the silhouettes there. So I've got a slight break from the novelisations. So I have The Trouble with the 12th Grave by Dorinda Jones. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to swap this book out, because obviously it doesn't... I've got the next one here. Obviously it doesn't match the rest of the covers. I have all the covers of these ones, and for some reason they just switched this one out. I think this is a US copy. Yeah, so it looks like a US copy, even though I pre-ordered this from Amazon UK. For some reason I've got a US copy, so I may like try and look that up and see if I can get the covers that match this one, for example. I get annoyed when they start changing covers in a series, like they've done it with the Stephanie Plum series by Janet Vanovich, they did it with the True Blood series by Charlene Harris. Mental block on her name there. See, there's the trouble with the 12th Grave one there. So I may try and switch it out, I may try and get the exact copy just so I can be pedantic and keep them all in. I don't know, I haven't read the books recently. I think I last read 11. It seemed to go in quite a weird direction. I wasn't sure about it, but I'm going to continue with the series. Hopefully I'll remember it as I continue.